Probably number one would be the indispensable role of compromise in achieving things of greatness. I believe that the reform of New Jersey's court system was obvious for a long time. I also believe that Arthur Vanderbilt's inability to sit down at the table with Frank Hague made that reform impossible. And it took a young governor from Camden County, Alfred Driscoll, the person they've named the bridge after. It took him to set upon this situation and say, we're never going to get this deal done unless people are willing to compromise. And so it's a lesson for politicians to learn today, which is that if you aren't prepared to compromise, you're never going to achieve anything great. And what Vanderbilt had achieved in his lifetime was greatness for himself at a personal level, but true greatness for the state in terms of accomplishing major reform. It took someone like Driscoll, Alfred Driscoll, to make it happen, or it would not have happened. The second lesson that I think we can take away from the book, and I'll put this bluntly in the colloquial and then I'll explain it, paybacks are tough. When the Irish came to Hudson County in the 19th century, they were treated terribly by the WASP power establishment. I relate it in chapter 6 of the book, where they rigged the laws to keep the Irish out of power. Well, they could only keep them out of power so long. And when the Irish finally did take control of politics in Jersey City and Hudson County, they used that power in a way that humiliated the Republicans and humiliated the white Anglo-Saxon Protestant Republicans. And the lesson to be learned from that is you have to treat everybody well. You have to treat newcomers with the respect that you would want to have. You have to be prepared to share power with newcomers, because you never know when they might be the majority. And so why teach them a lesson of belligerence and hostility when you can teach them a lesson of compromise, negotiation, and accommodation? And the WASP didn't do that with the Irish Catholics in Hudson County, and they paid for it dearly. And there are pockets all across this nation where we have people that aren't looked upon with the respect that they ought to be entitled to. And you never know when they may have control of their community and when they may decide it's payback time. And so there are some important lessons. Another important lesson, and you can learn this from both persons' careers, is there really is no substitute for passion. There's no substitute for what I call fire in the belly. There's no substitute for persistence. These two gentlemen persisted and overcome great odds to become giants in New Jersey's history and giants, some of the last great power brokers in American history. They were extraordinarily accomplished people, but they worked very hard, they overcame obstacles, and they persisted in the face of defeat and just kept on persisting because they didn't know any other way. That's 3 lessons, I guess.